on the orange belt level, what we teach after they've had the 4 basics on yellow belt for at least a month or 2, depending on how long they've been on yellow, then what we add on orange is something a little bit more strategic, and that's the definition of buttons and hooks. The way we define buttons is anything you can push. The shoulder's a nice pushing place. Yes, there's a button in the center of the chest, although it doesn't seem to work that well in moving your opponent around. There's a button right down here on the hip. There's also buttons on the arms. Anything I can push or basically control with force this direction, I consider a button. You got the elbow, you got the wrist, you got the shoulder. Anything you pull this direction is considered a hook. And behind every button there's a hook. So as he starts to throw a punch, I block it with a button. If he starts to pull back, I trap it with a hook. So behind this button is this hook. Behind this button on the shoulder is a hook right behind it. And it's wonderful. Go ahead and resist me. You can really pull somebody with that hook as long as you're using your hips. Because we know you can get muscle or you can get tendon lock in your hands. Once you get yourself on a hook, you can take that hook wherever you want to, and it's almost futile to resist. I lock my arm onto my hip, and I have this hook. I have control of the hook. If he starts to come back towards me, I now have the button. Okay, so what we teach the orange belts is just to go and touch these buttons and hooks. Push it, pull it, tug it, and we're giving them some body awareness. Now, what the opponent can do to help them, there's 2 things. He's going to go after my buttons and hooks. I can just be completely relaxed and give him those buttons. And I can also then give him tension. And now he can really manipulate me. This is, when you give him tension, this is where he can really start to learn to exploit these buttons and hooks. Because as he pushes a button and I resist, it gives him the hook. And of course the button. So what he's basically doing is manipulating my body. I give him resistance, he pushes the button, and then he pulls the hook. And then the next phase for orange belt, after they've learned these buttons and hooks, the touching them, the relaxed body, tugging, pulling, pushing, is to learn these buttons and hooks in combination. So, for instance, I might push the shoulder, he resists, I come after the button with a hook. Once I've got his body turned, I come back with the button. So I've done a push, pull, push. There's also obviously pull, push, pull. So I might pull the arm and he resists, and then I push, and then I might pull this. So basically the buttons and hooks are a way to manipulate your opponent's body, and you want to do it with some controlled tension so that I'm not exposing myself completely with this button, but he thinks I am. He thinks I'm exposing myself, he tries to take advantage of it, and as he does, I capture this button. And so orange belt is really a matter of taking the 4 drills on yellow, bringing them together, and putting them into a kind of an integrated body management, body manipulation of your opponent's body weight.